What is going on, you guys? Bastion YGO here, and today we're going to be hitting up one of my favorite decks. It's not my favorite deck of all time. I'm so excited. We haven't done a Trickstar deck profile in the longest time, I feel like, so it's definitely a long time coming. And with the most recent updates for the Forbidden Limitless, which I believe should be taking place today if it is getting uploaded on Monday like I plan it to be, this is the most exciting thing ever. Trickstar are finally full power for the first time in years. I feel like Konami's been was after this deck quite a bit, not for its power, but for its ability to mesh and be used as an engine for other decks. So it was used with Orcust, it was used with Sky Striker, it was used with Predaplant combos to go into Anaconda Verte really quick. Verte's now gone, Orcust is dead, Sky Striker just plays Mystic Mind, don't worry about Trickstar variants of itself, or it plays Runics, which is another way you can definitely go ahead and play Trickstar, which I'm going to go ahead and do a deck profile with that specific deck in just here in a little bit. But I want to go ahead and pay an homage to the original Trickstar decks, the OGs, and go ahead and kind of go back in time with a bit of a modern twist, if you will allow me to. So basically what I want to do here with you guys is I want to go ahead and show you guys my classic build Trickstar deck profile for you guys. Let me go ahead and turn on the light. Alright, I forgot the light, but you know, it is what it is. So what I want to go show you guys, like I said, is more of a classic Trickstar build. So if you guys want to know more or less how Trickstars played back in the day, first of all, when Trickstars first came out, Terraforming I believe was at 3, Upstart Goblin was at 3, Scapegoat was at 3, now is back at 3. So it was a lot of spells being used within the deck just to be able to deck thin and to be able to get to your reincarnation and light stages a lot faster. So the deck was overall a lot more consistent, and with cards coming out, especially the Nightmare packages, especially Nightmare Goblin when that came out, giving you an additional normal summon for Candinas, giving you an additional search per turn, that's what really just broke the deck entirely. So, and ever since then it's kind of died down since this, but for the first time, like I said, the deck is finally full power, so I'm really excited to go ahead and show this for you guys. So let's go ahead and get some love for Trickstar in the like button, get some hearts in the chat if you guys, not chat, in the comment section down below. I'm thinking I'm streaming already, but I just want to go ahead and show this for you guys. I don't want to do anything too crazy. Like I said, I will be uploading a Trickstar Runic deck profile, which I think is going to be the best and most correct way to play Trickstar, most powerful I should say, in the current format. I think that deck is absolutely nuts, so I will be uploading that here soon. So if you don't want to miss it, go ahead and subscribe down below, and let's get right into the profile, guys. I'm so pumped for this. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the monsters. We of course have to start off with 3 copies of Trickstar Candina. On normal summon, she allows you to search for any Trickstar card. So you can search out your Lycoris, you can search out your Reincarnation, your Light Stage, whatever you might want, but Candina is absolutely amazing. I think one of the small things that does hold this deck back is that it's only on normal summon. If it were like a swap frog effect with just whenever this card is summoned you get the search, I think it would be absolutely just busted. But regardless, I mean, you get one normal summon with this deck is really all you need, because either search your Lycoris in order to have recursion for your normal summon, or you can go ahead and search your light stage, which then searches your Lycoris, which also applies additional damage on board. Plus, light stage allows you to then go ahead and target a back row your opponent controls and freeze it till the end of the turn. Then they have to activate it or not. It's absolutely nuts. So I'm playing 3 copies of the Lycoris. So Trickstar Lycoris is probably one of the most broken cards ever written. So it has a burn. So all Trickstar Candina and Lycoris both have burn effects. Candina will burn your opponent for 200 life points for each and every spell trap card they activate, and Lycoris burns them for every card that is added to their hand individually. Both are continuous effects, so they do not activate, which is fantastic. So they can't be negated by like Ghost Ogre, or they can't be Solemn Strike, things like that effect, right? So they also have another effect Lycoris has, where it can help Candina dodge targeting negation. So in the event you get, let's say, Effect Veiler, Imperm, whatever it might be on your Candina normal summon, you activate Lycoris, target the Candina, special summon the Lycoris, and Lycoris' second effect as it resolves will bounce the Candina back to your hand, so then you can normal summon her again on your next turn. But also because the Candina is no longer on board, then your effects can get negated, which is a huge reason why I think this overall package is huge. I've seen a lot of people play Trickstar Lycoris at 2. But like I said, we're playing an homage to the original way you go ahead and play Trickstar, so we're definitely gonna have max out on 3. Also, we do have the ultimate rares, guys. You can't tell me that does not look like the most beautiful ultimate rare you've seen in your entire life. We can fight about it in the comments all you want, no problem. 1 Lilybell and 1 Corbane is really all you're gonna need, guys. I did want to go ahead potentially play more Corbane, but essentially she's really going to be used more as an extender and for battle phase shenanigans. Same thing with Lilybell, so there's really not much. So both can be used as extenders or battle phase shenanigans. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and save them for 2F, because realistically, by the time you bring in these out, your opponent should already be low enough in life points with all your burning you're going to be doing, that you're not really going to be considering that as your main focus for the deck. For the hand traps, you played 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Trickstar, Droll, and Lockbird, 3 copies of DD Crow, and 3 copies of Effect Veiler as well. So I want to play Effect Veiler because it's a really good card to draw if you already have an established board, which we do play a few cards that might be the case. So I'll go ahead and show you guys here in just a little bit when it comes to our spells and traps. Droll has to be a staple in any Trickstar decks just because the Droll Reincarnation combo is absolutely just nasty. So basically what you do is when your opponent adds a card from your deck to their hand, doesn't matter how they do it, if they add a card from the deck to their hand, you flip Reincarnation. Reincarnation says that your opponent has to banish their entire hand, and then they have to draw that many cards, but it's not a cost to banish their hand. So then you go ahead and act, and you can chain Droll and Lockbird to it, right? So then Droll and Lockbird says that your opponent cannot add any more cards to their deck, but you're still in the response window of your opponent adding that card to their hand. So Droll and Lockbird will then resolve, so your opponent cannot add cards from the deck to their hand, and Reincarnation will then resolve. And because they already added a card to their hand, so Reincarnation will then try to resolve as much as possible. So the only effect of Reincarnation that can go ahead and resolve is to banish your opponent's entire hand, and then they cannot draw. So that's absolutely so crazy. I mean, it's a effect that was the main way I used to win back in the day. It was a really cheesy win condition, but I mean, it was really good and really consistent with, again, all the spells you ran, all the consistency within the deck. So Droll Reincarnation combo is a disgusting combo, but it is really satisfying to have it pull off. Just remember how it works. You activate Reincarnation, then Droll and Lockbird, and go from there. That's gonna be it for the monsters, guys. Now on to the spells. So guys, we finally have the opportunity to bust out the 3 copies of Trickstar Light Stage. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. We have 3 copies of Trickstar Light Stage. This card is actually so ridiculous. So there's so many things you can do with this card. First of all, on activation, it does search you a Trickstar monster. So you search out your Candina or Likers, whichever one you're missing. Maybe search out Lilybell for a special summon, again, battle phase shenanigans, or a Corbane as far as that goes. But primarily going to be searching out a Candina or a Likers. So with Light Stage as well, it is a once per card, not a hard once per turn effect. So what Light Stage does is you can actually go ahead and activate it and have it target a setback or your opponent controls, and they either have to activate it right now, or they are forced to activate it during the end phase if the timing applies, and if not, then that card gets sent to the graveyard, not destroyed. So it's really good to remove back row, but it's really fantastic to bait out back row as well. So in the event that you activate Light Stage, have another in hand, you activate Light Stage, target their back row, and they activate it, you say great, activate another Light Stage, search again, and then activate Light Stage, the second Light Stage's effect, to go ahead and target the second back row that you have. So you can just keep going off from there. That's why I think Trickstar Light Stage is so good. It's like almost like having an MST each and every single turn. So that's why I absolutely love this card, and I'm so happy that it's at 3. So we are playing a field spell deck, so you know we gotta play the Mystic Mines in here with the terraforming and the set rotation, and might as well throw in the metaverse in here as well. So we are playing with a lot of field spell juice. So essentially what we're trying to do here is either bust out the Mystic Mine or the Light Stage, whichever one we find necessary at the time. Of course, if we're going second and we're facing up against a wild board, then we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we're able to have Mystic Mine on our field. But if we are pushing for game, then all these cards can really help us search out another Light Stage, which searches another Lycoris or a Lilybell, and then helps us push for damage that way as well. So I think this is probably going to be the correct ratio for field spells moving forward, and it's definitely going to be, I know this is a trap, it's not a spell, whatever, but this is definitely going to be the correct way to go ahead and play Trickstar. I think 3 Mystic Mine is a bit too cloggy, just because Mystic Mine, you don't want it to be your win condition with Trickstar, because I think Mystic Mine is better for decks that want to deck out your opponent, whereas Trickstar wants to burn your opponent primarily. Like I said, the runic version of Trickstar is really good, and you can definitely make Trickstar more of a deck out deck instead of a burn deck. So that's something I'll go over during that deck profile. But for this deck profile, like I said, the more classic way, I think playing Mystic Mine with 3 life stage is definitely going to be the way to go, with the 3 ways to go ahead and search out your field spells. So some other cards that are brand new and were not available in 2017 are 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. This has become a lot more accessible ever since the Megatons. It's still about a $40-50 card, so if you cannot afford this, I mean, it's alright, don't worry about it. You can play Extravagances, and that's still really good, because essentially you want to still dig deeper through your deck. I do prefer Prosperity because it does matter a little bit more of what exactly you have in your hand as compared to having more cards in your hand, if that makes sense. So with Prosperity, you can search out for specifically the life stage, specifically the Reincarnation, specifically the Candina, so you can go continue about your plays and go off like that. These are also the misprint versions I have from the previous video. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and play these out for right now. They are so pretty cool, but I'll probably do what my boy Rob, he recommended, probably get a play set of the actual stamped ones. Keep this, you know, for collector. But I mean, they kind of grow on me. They're kind of cool, so whatever, I'll play them. So we played 3 copies of Scapegoat and 3 copies of Super Poly. So we're definitely throwing it back with the Scapegoats, but Super Poly I think is again a more of a modern twist with it. Now this does clash. If you're going to be activating Super Poly during your opponent's turn, you cannot activate Scapegoat, because Scapegoat says you cannot summon any other monster the turn you activate Scapegoat. So definitely be careful with that. Definitely I would prefer activating Scapegoat during my opponent's end phase, and then during my main phase 1 just link summon with them into something wild, and again push for damage or force interruptions that way as well. But Super Poly again is just a really good card, especially in a deck that plays like that doesn't really care about its extra deck. You can put a lot of fodder for Super Poly in it and just have more freedom that way as well. But that's gonna be it for the spells, guys. As far as the traps, I just go ahead and put them right here because there's really nothing too crazy saucy. But we are playing 3 copies of Trickstar Reincarnation, the God card. So Reincarnation is the best card ever printed. So let me go ahead and explain why. Not only does it of course banish your opponent's entire hand for free, there's no cost. There's no cost to it. It's not pay like half your life points and then, you know, banish your opponent's entire hand. No. It's not have a Trickstar monster. It's super splashable. There's no need for it. I mean, the reason why it works obviously was Trickstar because it has the name Trickstar in it. But I mean, I'd probably be really all over this card even if it didn't have that name. I mean, the fact that it also has the effect you can banish it from the graveyard to target a Trickstar card and target monster and special summon it for free. For free, so it means after you activate the effect, right? After you activate the effect to banish your opponent's entire hand, and they have to draw a whole new set, which if you activate it after they search, it really sucks because then they already wasted the search, and now they might not even have that card in their hand. Switches up your strategy, activating Reincarnation in the graveyard, bringing back something, and that's not. None of these are harder ones per turn. So you can activate all 3. All like this, just activate them all 3, chain them all to each other, and then your opponent has to banish 6, 12, 18 cards. If you're going first and you have these 3 cards in your hand, chain during the standby phase, and they have to literally banish 18 cards from their deck, including of course their hand, which I think is just disgusting. Like there's so many games when I took this to locals a few months back, not this specific build of course, but I did take this to locals a little bit ago, and there was I actually won half my games with deck out before Runics came out. Like this was probably I think February of this year or March. So it was really funny because I kept stalling with a whole bunch of like hand traps, things like that, and then when I got to the grindier version of the deck, for some reason version of the grindier part of the duel, I would just happen to have 3 incarnations in my hand or set. So I'd ask my opponent, okay, how many cards do you have in your deck? And then they'd respond, and I'd be like, okay, cool, chain extend, we're good. So I mean, it's really cheesy, it's kind of messed up, but I mean, at the end of the day, if Konami thinks it's fair, I guess it's fair. And then the same goes for Mystic Mine, but I have a bone to pick with that one. That's gonna be it for the main deck, guys. 40 card main deck. Now let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but I do want to make sure that we do have the right cards in here to really maximize on what our deck is trying to do. So 1 Link Karibo for Scapegoats, 1 Mrs. Radiant for Scapegoats, 1 IP for Scapegoats. Well, you do need 2 non-link monsters, so Scapegoat. 1 Lina Light Charmer. All your everything you're summoning is light, except for, of course, any extra deck monsters, so she's really good. One Nightmare Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn. Like I said, the Nightmare package specifically with Trickstar just works really well, because so Trickstars suck at getting over big monsters. They're just absolutely terrible. They cannot get over big monsters. So Cerberus and Nightmare Unicorn coming clutch when it comes to those type of things, just because you're able to just, it doesn't matter if you can't get over it, just destroy it or spin it back to the extra deck and you're good to go. Or spin it back, you know. 2 Shurag the Ominous Omen. This is for Scapegoat. It just says you have to use 2 plus Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters. What are Scapegoat tokens? They're all beasts. So you activate Scapegoat during your opponent's end phase. During main phase 1, you go bet, tribute all tokens to make a Ominous Omen for free, and then you banish card your opponent controls. So that's pretty nutty. 1 Access Code, 1 Boral Sword. I think those are self-explanatory. 1 Appaloosa. This, you can put a Trickstar Holly Angel in here. I'm not playing Holly Angel just because I honestly don't think it's that necessary at this point. I think all of these are just a lot more versatile and just a little bit better than having the Holly Angel. If you guys want to see a Trickstar Link version, definitely let me know, because I've been trying to experiment with that for a while. Hasn't worked out yet to make it a good deck, because I don't want to get something out to you guys and have it not be good. I want to make sure I test it. I want to make sure it's actually good before I get it to you guys. But having a Trickstar Link version is just a little bit challenging, just because of the way the cards are designed. They're not really made to link spam, and trying to make Trickstars link, you're getting rid of a lot of resources that could be better used if you just fill the field with Lycrosis and set up a whole bunch of reincarnations. But it is what it is. If you guys want to see that, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And then for the 3 fusion for Super Polys, you play 1 Garura, 1 Mud Dragon, and 1 Predaplan Dragos Tapelia. You do have the space to play additional Super Poly targets, but I think that's good enough as it is. And that is actually going to be it for the deck profile, guys. Honestly, I've been having a lot of fun being able to play Trickstars at full power again. Whether I'm going to be taking this or the Runic deck to locals, I think I'm probably going to take Runic Trickstar to locals. And I am going to go ahead and show you guys my quick deck profile for you guys. But I think that deck is just absolutely nuts. But having Trickstar at full power just feels so good. And being able to play it at a more consistent high level just makes the deck that much better. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys stuck around to the very end, I really appreciate each and every single one of you who have made it this far. Leave a like down below, subscribe down below for more. And don't forget, guys, if you guys want to see any specific types of discussions or deck profiles, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do for you guys. We've taken a few requests here on the channel, but I really try to keep it as much as a fun and interactive experience as possible. So let me know down below what you guys want to see. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.